How's it going, everyone? I see y'all asking for this one, and for good reason. Nolan Traore. I'm excited to talk about him. Thank y'all for the support recently. It's been amazing. Let's keep, 150, 200 likes, drop another one of these. But yeah, let's talk about Traore, who is a clear top prospect, and I was reminded of why I'm so damn high on him after putting these clips together for this video. Stay to the end for some pretty interesting development cases that he kind of reminds me of. But Traore's special thing is his burst and his ability to get downhill literally whenever he wants. He is one of the fastest players that I can remember over the last couple years, at least in terms of acceleration, first step, finishing drives with speed, like hesitation move, just torching this big all the way and finishing with his left there. Traore is an inconsistent finisher with his left. We'll talk more about that throughout the video. But one thing that is not inconsistent is Traore's ability to get downhill. His speed is so evident on tape, and it's just really hard for people to stay in front of him. And because of that, he is a walking paint touch, and he can really get up off of 1 foot as well. He's a great, he's not like a huge dunking threat, but like we can see, he can really explode off of his left foot in traffic, maintain his balance through a probably getting hacked there. I don't know if they ended up calling it, but regardless, Traore probably deserved a foul there. And one of the most impressive things to me about Traore is that he maintains this kind of rim pressure even at the highest levels. Like those last couple clips were against competition his own age, but this is playing in like the French Pro League in the playoffs, as you can see, and Traore is still able to get downhill. He wasn't always finishing or ending up capping off these plays, but you can see the burst and his ability to change pace, kind of accelerate into the lane, find these kind of creases. And regardless of what's happening now, I really truly believe that elite advantage creators and guys who can just get downhill whenever they want will develop at other things more, just because they're going to get more chances to do it. And especially when Traore has some of the handling creativity that he does. I think Traore is an excellent ball handling prospect. He's not perfect, which we'll get to, but really nice behind the back here, throwing the ball away from this would-be steal. And then the acceleration right at this moment is truly absurd, getting right to the basket. Like, he is so goddamn fast, man. Like, it's crazy to see a 17-year-old just torching good French Pro League defenders, rounding this corner, flattening his angle off, which Traore does a ton, and then just whoop, wrong foot, scoops it over that big. What an impressive play. Damn. But yeah, you can see that, like, even on some of these plays where he's missing, and sometimes the finishing and like driving process overall isn't great, he's so explosive and gets so low to the ground and is so fast, sometimes too fast for his own good, right? I've talked about this in the past with guys like Amen and like Jaden Ivey, when they oftentimes were just too fast and like sped themselves up. But this is a great play where Traore is going to turn the corner and again flattening his angle off. Traore could like drive into the defense, but he's going to flatten his angle towards the middle here with this kind of hop low gather, gets super low, puts his shoulder in this defender, long steps, hangs in the air, finishes. You can see all of the tools on display there, and Traore is damn impressive, and he's maybe the best player in this class at splitting the pick and roll, which is something that all high-level ball handlers have to do because, one, they see so much damn pressure all the time. Traore is mostly getting blitzed or hard-hedged or just playing really, they play him high up. Beautiful reject with behind the back and then splits that traffic. Great laydown pass. And Traore's passing is going to be an interesting topic to discuss throughout this video because my ultimate thesis on it is that it's good, not incredible, but I think it doesn't even matter because of how ridiculously good of an advantage creator is. Like, it's like you don't have to have great vision to make this kind of pass, right? When you're right here. Obviously, Traore like does a great job hanging in the air, using his explosion, his athleticism, his coordination, all that stuff to make the pass. But the windows he creates are enormous. But again, we're going to see him split the pick and roll, and like I said, he can dunk sometimes in the half court. He can definitely get up when he needs to. Yeah, Traore, damn, explosive as hell at times. I mean, his burst is really overwhelming. Another low split. And this is a really nice example of his handle, where it's not always consistent, but the ball control here is pretty remarkable. Like, throwing the ball in front of him, like, basically torso parallel to the ground. The ball is far as hell away, but he's able to maintain control bounce it up to his chest, and gather into a floater. It's really impressive, like hand-eye coordination, ball skills, all of that stuff that all of the superstar ball handlers have. Traore pretty much has, and again, just another beautiful split, easy lay down. This is the shit that Traore does just all the time, getting downhill. And another lefty finish. He's definitely not as comfortable and good going to his left, but the fact that he can get there so long, I certainly believe in his ability to finish these kind of plays. And Traore, like, he creates so many passing windows. I've done if you know the channel, you know my, like, can you read the game, like, X video where it's like, oh, which is the correct pass here? And for Traore, it's like, oh, this is the correct pass, but that also would have been the correct pass, where the fact that he moves so fast before these, like, youth defenses can rotate, he creates, like, five different windows on each play. And I think that level of advantage creation combined with, like I said, good enough vision, as we're going to see throughout. Like, I don't think it's like a special passing toolkit, but it's really good enough to me. And this is a pretty special play, to be honest. First of all, the acceleration here. Look at that. This, like, the power and explosion from that first plant and then, like, the first couple steps after, insane. And then he's gonna hop step off of 2 feet, wrap in a crazy tight window. That is just beautiful. Some of his, like, live dribble passing creation with, like, coordination and skill are just absolutely absurd. And another play where there's, like, 2+ windows here, right? Traore's just gonna dump it off here. Great job recognizing that his guy is gonna have an easy seal, but he can also kick to the corner here. It's like, yeah, like, obviously Traore is going to do well in the quiz because he knows what all the answers are before time, right? Like, it's very easy for him, and that's evident on tape. Even on days where he isn't really scoring, like, I think he had, like, 8 points in this Sweden game on, like, 5 or 6 shots, and I saw people kind of freaking out about his scoring. Like, when Traore is still creating advantages like this, making advanced passes like this, like, creating opportunities, even if, like, he's not really shooting because he doesn't need to, or even if he's having an inefficient shooting day, which will happen for young high-volume point guards, I think it is zero reason to fret. When, again, he is just a walking paint touch. And I've talked about this so many times on the channel, but it's hard to quantify that. The value of a guy who bends the defense. Oh, my God, I totally forgot I threw this pass in here. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, man. That spin pass is just, whew. He was really special in this recent ANGT tournament. And Traore has some skip passing. He's definitely best as, like, an interior laydown passer with some like, driving kick stuff, but he'll occasionally flash a skip when the window is pretty big here, right? It's not like a tight window, thread the needle play. It's a pretty open skip, but it's a good skip regardless, reading the defense and making a play. And this play is funny. No, not this play, the next play. Again, just simple drive, kick out. This is the stuff that I want to see more from Traore. His, like, pacing on drives is very inconsistent because he's so damn fast. He often just plays really fast, but when he slows down, snakes back to the middle, kicks it out to the right side for a shooter, like, that's when he's at his best, honestly. And we'll get to some of that. This was the funny play I was talking about, where I think this skip pass got deflected, but just perfectly into the hands of his teammate. Like, let's see if we can see here. Like, ridiculously cool looking pass, and yeah, it looks like it, but I'm, not 1,000% sure. But regardless, he is a very nice passer. But Traore, as I said, can definitely be out of control a lot of the time, right? He's just kind of running straight into a guy, loses his handle, isn't able to create any separation there, and then he does this. He got benched after this play, which is hilarious, but I totally forgot about this. Like, what the fuck? That is a dime. That is an absolute dime, and I'm pretty sure he got benched after that, which is so funny. And, like, but yeah, Traore definitely has the one speedness kind of thing where he just hits the accelerator and goes straight and throws it up. And oftentimes, especially at youth level, that'll work when you're his level of special burst. But against pros, it's not as good of a strategy, right? And I think some of Traore's, like, he's sped up. He's not as willing to play off too. I do like the slight deceleration here and the attempt with his left. But again, not as good finishing with his left as his right for sure, which is something that, of course, is going to have to improve in the league. And then some of the passing decisions when he isn't, like, on a drive or looking to score. It's, like, not really sure what the idea is here, like throwing it straight to a defender, just like a lapse or something. I'm not exactly sure what happens. But Traore, when you pressure him and when you speed him up, he can definitely make mistakes, right? Just kind of running straight at you, not really changing his pace, not trying to create an advantage. Like, I'm just going to win with my speed, because so often it just works. So it makes sense that Traore leans on this kind of skill, but I definitely think it's kind of like low-hanging fruit for him to develop. Is once he just like plays a little slower, it's going to pay so many dividends, because no one can stop him burst-wise. And I think like with the Amen parallel, his handle is like not good enough for his speed sometimes, because he's so quick accelerating that his like hand-eye coordination to me lags behind or something like that, excuse me. But Traore is just, I think these are low-hanging fruit things for him to clean up, stuff that is very coachable and fixable, because he has like a clear instinct for driving and playmaking, as we've seen. And even on a lot of these plays where the shots aren't going in, he's still creating great advantages, where he's going to airball this floater because Traore's intermediate game is going to need work, like basically every 17-year-old guard. But really good job behind the back here, uses the screen, ends up getting back to the middle. Like, he's getting himself into the positions he needs to be in. He just isn't converting the plays yet. But if you can get to that level at a high level, which sure I can, like, I believe in him to develop the finishing. And this is a great little finish as well. Like, when he does play off of two, right, he hops, he hangs in the air, he holds off this defender, and he finishes was right there. But regardless, the ability to hang in the air, contour, all that good stuff, really, really nice. And Traore will make these, like, fairly basic kind of plays, and I love that he showed some more confidence in like the French league, pulling up when defenses go under. This is going to be an important shot for him, right? Because he's so damn fast. Defenses are just going to play off of him. Can Traore hit the under pull-ups? And late in the season, I definitely think he was pretty confident taking them. He wasn't like the best or most efficient guy, but I love for his development that he's confident taking these under pull-ups and not letting defenses just totally sag off and ignore him, because that's going to be one of the paths to failure. And these are the kind of plays that will mitigate that, right? Traore doesn't have a three. He's not getting all the way downhill, so he's going to hop step, take that floater. He seems to have pretty good touch from what I've watched, but just doesn't take a ton of these intermediate shots. But again, really confident, deep two, pulling up right there. Under from three as well. Like, he has good enough volume, touch, and free throw numbers for me to project Traore as a good enough shooter. He's willing off the catch, and the fact that he just lives in the paint means that he doesn't need to be that same kind of shooter. And he definitely did more like role player point guard stuff. He hit a lot of these like structured reads, right? It's kind of like a back screen here for a lob. And like I said, when Traore slows down and plays with more pace, gets his defender in jail, throws a little lay down or a little pass to the roll. This is great patience, right? If he just kind of blitzed to the rim, he might have got blocked. He wouldn't have had a passing angle, but he waits for his roller to kind of dip down and ends up making that play. So when he plays slow and when he slows down, good things happen. Even though Traore is the fastest dude on the planet, not on the planet, definitely in most of the games he plays, though, he's probably the fastest guy, and that's going to be a thing. And I think of these like really fast rim pressure guys as a lot of them having a good track record for improving other things, where I think of a guy like Tyrese Maxey, who like had plenty of problems, but was always at the rim and had amazing touch. Definitely different prospects. I'm not comparing them solely, but Maxey had similar issues where as a passer, he was not as advanced as Traore, but still wasn't like, wouldn't always make great decisions and would miss reads and stuff. And just kind of, like I said, not read help like we've seen in a couple of these plays. But notice, like, he's always creating advantages. He's always in the right place, but he's just not always making the plays. And of course, Maxey has grown into a really awesome passer for his role, you know, at this point in his career, and he's obviously a star. But these were like the silly passing mistakes that happened all the time at like the early stages for Maxey. And I honestly think, you know, not to just repeat Kentucky guards, but De'Aaron Fox had this similarity as well, as a guy who just got downhill whenever he wanted, but wasn't a really refined guy in terms of feel or driving, like blending his playmaking and scoring. Here, Fox missing a wide open guy down below, and I think it's Briscoe that ends up running straight into a defender. And again, we see the kind of one speedness that I talked about with Traore, with Fox, where he was so damn fast and got downhill whenever he wanted, so naturally he just didn't change speeds a lot. But you see why, because the burst with a guy like Fox was obviously special, and that ability to create advantages along with like the great touch he had. Fox, Maxey, Traore, all different guys, but I think just talking in terms of pure development, there are similarities there in terms of the extremely like bursty advantage creatory point guards. And Traore's defense is like, work in progress. This is an offense focused video, but I think he has like really good instincts and can move. So there's definitely something there, right? He notices that Hedge not going to get back there nearly in time, or the switch or whatever, and he ends up nabbing this deflection right there. He's like, he needs to get a lot stronger, but he clearly has instincts. Like, doesn't make a great contest, but he recognizes that play, and when he locks in, he really can slide on the ball and make ball handlers' lives hell because he is so quick, strong, and has like a pretty good base and is laterally really quick. But yeah, I'm kind of rambling at this point because I've run out of much to say. Traore is awesome. I'm very excited to see what he can do in his second year, like hopefully full-time playing rotation minutes in the French league. I'm always going to bet on guys with his level of burst at this age, with really good, like I said, not elite or anything, but really good passing and just the innate advantage creation knack with enough shooting and other stuff to feel good about it. So let me know what you think. I am extremely high on Traore. I'm not gonna have him over Cooper, but I think you can get him as high as 2 in this draft for sure, and he's that level of guy.